This video's question comes from Toby Young, a fellow School of the Future alumni from NYC. So he asks, how can we keep staff happy? How do you keep staff happy? And this is something that I think is fairly simple. I think it can be complicated quite a bit in today's day and age, where you have companies like Google that are providing so many perks and different things, but I provide temp staffing. If you can provide perks, that's more of a competitive edge. That's how to beat out your competition, maybe relieve stress. If you have a particularly stressful industry, it may be very important to provide outlets to relieve that stress. But all of that aside, how do we keep staff happy? I think if Google employs these strategies, if you employ these strategies, you will have happy employees. One, be consistent. Everything from the gender pay gap to just inequity of any sort just doesn't make sense. It's going to set you up for failure. It's going to set your staff up to be unhappy, to be discontent. Be consistent. With Totham Staffing, we have very consistent pay rates across the board. We pay the same amount of money to people for the same job. If we're paying more, it's usually because they are at a different level and working at a different level, asked to do a different kind of activity. A good example of that is our cater wait staff earns one level of pay, which we actually just recently increased across the board to everyone that works at the cater rate, and then the executive rate is another rate, and you're doing another kind of job, and then our captains, chefs, and so on. So whether it's pay, whether it's how you treat people, your interviewing process, being consistent across the board, just being consistent. Everything for the most part is the same. I can't say, enough. Be consistent. All right. That sort of feeds into number 2, which is being trustworthy. Do the right thing. Make sure people are paid. You say you're going to pay somebody, pay somebody. Just being true to your word. Giving people the opportunity, setting themselves up for success, being trustworthy. That way, when you do mess up, which inevitably you will, you're going to mess up. You're going to send someplace to somebody the wrong place, give them the wrong schedule, mess up somebody's pay, with a math error in the office. But when you're consistent and when you're inevitably trustworthy, when something happens, they're going to give you the benefit of the doubt. We have new employees all the time. If something messes up, they don't know me and they may be upset. And we just try to stress, hey, this is something that doesn't happen often, and we're going to fix it. And we fix it, and we build that trust. So mistakes are going to happen, but the way that you handle things all the way through, consistency, being trustworthy, that's going to help you. All right. Now, number 3. This is the most important one because it ties into everything else. Stating your expectations. Employees cannot meet or exceed your expectations if you do not clearly provide them. There are those clever geniuses out there that can somehow read your mind or research and study, but really, if you want to know, if you want staff to do the job that you want them to do, it is your job to provide those expectations. And that's what we do every single day with Totham Staffing. From the interview to the placement on the job to the information that we're sending out when they go to the job, letting them know what the expectations are and being consistent and trustworthy with those expectations. I hope that's helpful. If you want me to expand on anything, give me a comment, hit me up. You can definitely get in contact with me. And then we just ask you to like the video if you enjoyed it and share it if you think it'll help somebody else. Have a great day.